Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho. Unfortunately, I did do this review. Well, okay, this is not a review, but I did do this video a couple days ago, thinking that I had already uploaded it and had it scheduled on my video. But now I look back on my channel and see what my recent videos I've been uploading, it's not there, and I deleted the original file, so now I have to do this a second time. So I do want to keep it short because I really don't feel like doing this a second time, but I kind of have to because, that's obviously what I kind of owe you guys because I've done a top 10 pistols video, then it should be followed with the recommendations video, right? So it's only fair. So let's try getting through this really as quickly as possible, shall we? So here we go with the pistol recommendations. So as you guys can see, some of these pistols are on sale because of the 6th anniversary of Combat Arms. And for the pistols, just for the sake of time, for the pistols I've already discussed my top 10, or the families of pistols that I've already discussed, we'll just gloss over them, and I guess won't even talk about them, because if you guys want my opinions on them, just go ahead and check out the top 10 video. Anyway, moving on from that, Walther P38 and the Luger P08, it seems like they're both on permanent sale. Yes, they are. That's wonderful. Oh, this one's on 40k. I wonder why. Whereas this one's 80k. That makes no sense. Okay, whatever. Next on, fix your shit. Anyways, so the Walther P38 and the Luger P08 are, in my opinion, basically the same gun, except for the fact that the Walther has less damage but higher rate of fire, and the Luger has more damage but less rate of fire. And basically every other statistic, they're basically the same. I believe the portability, accuracy, and recoil can all basically be counted as the same, and plus they have the same ammunition count as well. So just think of them as polar opposites in terms of damage and rate of fire. Or converse, I should say. Converse is the correct term. The Python is an interesting pistol. It's a revolver, obviously, but obviously it has a sniper rifle scope on it, which makes no sense. But if you like quick scoping and you really like trying to go for one clicks, I mean, you could combine those two and try using the Python to get one click headshots or one click quick scopes. I guess you could see. I don't know. I've tried it before. It's very difficult, obviously, but it's a really fun pistol. This is the kind of pistol that you'd use when you're just screwing around, just trying to have a good time, and you don't really care about your KDR. And Python's a very good way to have some fun with your pistols. P2OSC, that's already in my top 10, so we'll just gloss over that. The Anaconda Gold is, in my honest opinion, kind of useless, because the whole point of having a revolver in Combat Arms, in my opinion, is that revolvers are kind of known for their two-shot kill capabilities, right? They're power pistols, so they're all about dealing a lot of damage with one shot. So having a revolver that takes 3 shots to kill but has double the rate of fire of most revolvers, I'm not really too sure how I feel about that. I guess it could be the perfect backup weapon, like, say, for example, if you really like a high damage pistol, but you're not really satisfied with most GP standard pistols out there, like, oh, you think the USP doesn't do enough damage, you think, the Glock doesn't do enough damage for you, then the Anaconda Gold may be a good choice. The only problem with that is that it only has 6 rounds in a magazine, or I should say cylinder, technically speaking, and the fact that you can't increase your magazine size is kind of a hindrance, so just be careful when you are thinking about buying this gun. The Anaconda Silver, on the other hand, is more in tune with what most traditional revolvers are kind of like. Strong 2-shot kill, 6 bullets in a cylinder, and it's basically as vanilla as your revolvers can get, basically. Beretta, we've talked about. Bush 992, Deagle SC. The Deagle SC. So here's the thing: the Deagle SC, the American Eagle, and the Canadian Eagle. The only reason why you're ever gonna buy those Deagles is if you either really like the draw animations on the Deagle SC or the American Eagle, or you just want to show some Canadian pride with the Canadian Eagle. Unfortunately, Nexon screwed you Canadians over by not giving it a cool flippy animation. So I'm sorry about that on their behalf. But other than that, though, there's really no point in getting the Deagles, the NX standard Deagles variants, unless you really want a perm Deagle. In which case, if you're not interested in that, then you might as well just buy the regular Deagle and be done with it. So yeah, the only merit that the Deagle SC and the American Eagle have are the facts that, is the fact that they have cool flippy animations, which in the end no one really cares about, unless you're kind of like those kinds of people. So the K5SD. Some people have asked me why I didn't put the K5SD in my top 10 pistols video. I almost said sniper rifle. My top 10 pistols video. They said that it's a really good pistol, and I don't doubt that. I mean, if you can make this pistol work, that's great. That's absolutely fine. Problem is, I hate this gun. And if you guys have been around my channel for at least the past 2 years now, you would know that I have bashed on this gun when I did the review for this thing. I think this gun honestly sucks. This K5SD and the original K5, I feel personally are subpar to even the Glock. Like, the Glock is your run-of-the-mill, well, it's not really run-of-the-mill, but in my head, the Glock is kind of, it sets the standard for what a good, for like, what a decent pistol should do, or at least, you know, what a sidearm in combat arms should be able to do reasonably well at the very least. The K5 doesn't even do that. Like, it has really, really low damage. I think it has less than 30 damage. It's absolutely pathetic. Maybe it does have 30 damage. I don't know. It's been a long time since I last saw the stats on the K5. And K5SD basically has the same stats, if I'm not mistaken, only it comes with an S3 silencer, in which case that's really, really bad, because the S3 silencer on the K5SD, honestly, in my opinion, doesn't have any special properties with it. Like, for example, other silencers on the M4 SOP mod, maybe the MP5, nah, I think the MP5 mod has the original S3 silencer, so that's not a good example, but you guys get what I mean. The silencers on guns like the FAMAS G2 and the M4 SOP mod, they're not silencers that come with a lot of damage reduction, because if you guys don't know, if you equip a silencer onto a gun, it has a 10% damage reduction penalty, in which case the special silencers that come integrated with the guns when you buy them don't really have that same amount of reduction, if at all. So the fact that the K5SD silencer is just an old SD, you know, an old S3 silencer that you can just buy straight up from the customization shop. That's kind of bad, because you're doing less than 30 damage at that point. And plus, it only has 13 rounds when the Glock has 15, and the reload animation for the K5 anyway, it's a bit faster on the K5SD, but the reload animation on the K5 is just fucking slow as balls. So that and the K5SD, the handling is just plain awkward. But I'm done bashing on the K5SD. I personally do not like it. I can't seem to make it work. But if it works for you, then, I mean, don't just ignore me and, you know, keep using what works for you. Because at the end, this video is about helping you guys figure out which pistols work best for you. If you like a pistol that I don't like, then okay, whatever. There's really no point for you to watch this video then. The M1911 Knights, I think I've already mentioned before, the M1911 Knights and the original M1911 are basically subpar to the M1911 Silver and the M1911 Gold, because the Silver and the Gold both have more ammunition. The Gold has more damage. So, yeah, in my honest opinion, you know, you should probably save your money, or, you know, wait until you actually get up to the rank where you can actually unlock the M1911 Silver, and, you know, use M1911. Otherwise, if you don't want to wait that long, then, I mean, you can still use the M1911 Silver pistol. I just feel like the Silver is a lot better. Now, the P226 and the P226 Silver, they basically have the same stats as the Glock, the G23, only the rate of fire is different, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like there's really no point for you to buy the P226 or the P226 Silver, because they're Glock clones with less rate of fire, and it kind of comes with an advantage, but I think it's more of a disadvantage than an advantage, because even though the P226 has a more stable recoil, but by that I mean because it has a lower rate of fire, you obviously can't be firing faster than like a Glock, and obviously because you can't fire as fast, the recoil will, you know, have more chance to you know, settle back to original position. And in that case, the P226 does have an advantage in the fact that it has a very stable recoil, and you honestly don't even need to worry about, you know, the hipfire spreading out at all, in fact. But honestly, if the P226 has a little bit more damage, then it would be acceptable. But because of the fact that it has the same amount of damage, 33 that is, as the G23, I would rather prefer using the Glock 23 and spraying as fast as I can with it. So that's just my opinion. I don't really think the P226 really belong here because of the Glock, which is unfortunate, but oh well. I guess the only other reason why you should get these guns, the P226 variants, is the fact that, you know, if you're trying to get like a forgeable variant, like if you're trying to make the Dragoon revolver or the M1949 pocket revolver, then you can buy these guns and forge them respectively. But other than that, don't really see a point. The Golden Gun. The Golden Gun is kind of strange because it's kind of like a revolver where it has 6 rounds in a magazine, but well, that and it's got a strong 2-shot kill and whatever. But this thing is very, very strange in the fact that you can actually increase the magazine capacity on this thing. So if you were to slap a magazine modification or a Mag Mod 2, then you can have 13 rounds in magazine, which is kind of mind-blowing if you think about it. That and it has a lot of recoil. That's the thing. A lot of recoil, but a lot of rate of fire as well. So you can fire this thing pretty fast, and it's actually not that bad of a sidearm, but you know, it's kind of a quirky gun, to be honest, and it's definitely not your conventional pistol. I mean, it doesn't even look like a pistol, to be honest. It's just like, you know, cardboard mixed together, just like the cardboard gun, but whatever that's called. USPSC, really no need for me to talk about it. K5 already spent enough time bashing us, so let's just move on. G23, you've already talked about in the top 10 video, M1911 as a USP. Anaconda Black, the only bad thing about this is the fact that it has a fire delay. You refer to my review video on the Anaconda Black to see what I mean by it, but basically, when you click to fire the gun, it takes an extra half second for it to actually fire, so that kind of delay really throws people off, and not a great revolver simply because of that reason. But rest assured, its other variants don't have that quirk, which is good. The Makarov is again one of those pistols where people ask me, you know, hey Asian, why didn't you put the Makarov on the top 10? It's a really good pistol, and I know it is. It's a great pistol. In fact, this is one of my favorite guns to go around PZing people with. You know, you guys have seen a couple clips from my PZ montages or one-click montages, whatever, with me using the Makarov on oil rig or whatever. I'm sure some of you guys have seen that. But the reason why I didn't put this gun on the top 10, well, two reasons. One, because it only has 8 rounds in the magazine. Unfortunately, that's for me personally, it's not quite comfortable enough for me to call it a reliable handgun, because I tend to miss a lot with sidearms, so having a large magazine would be really helpful. And you can't put an extended magazine on your Makarov, which is really, it sucks, to be honest. That, and I just feel like it has a lot of recoil for you know, to be a reliable sidearm. So because of those two reasons, I decided against putting it on my top 10. So unfortunately, that's the case there. The TT pistol, on the other hand, is kind of a weird one. Honestly, I kind of have the same feeling towards it as I do get towards the K5, where I don't think it's a great pistol, to be honest. I think it actually kind of sucks, because think about it, it's got the same ammunition count and the same features as the Makarov. You know, as you guys can see here, both of them have 8 rounds in magazine. Both of them cannot attach scopes or sound, or not, they can attach silencers, but they can't attach magazine modifications. But the Makarov has way more damage, and if I'm not mistaken, the rate of fire is like only slightly higher for TT. So I don't think there's really a reason why there should be, you know, anyone should really get the TT. That being said, I do have the TT for perm because they sold it for permanent sales. I was like, hey, why not, right? But yeah, I just honestly don't feel like the TT pistol is all that great, to be honest. Deagle, we've already mentioned before. It's a power pistol. You know, usually people should go down 2 shots, though I have seen people tank it for 3. But other than that, though, you know, probably not what you're looking for when you think of a reliable hand arm or sidearm. M92FS, why am I even talking about this? It's a variant of the default gun. Why should I talk about this? The 5.7 we are already covering the top 10 video. Very good, very good. Glock 23 SC. G18, it was about to go on my top 10 video, but I decided against it because I already put in the G18 Carbon Black. So I was like, well, it's, you know, it's a variant. I'm going to include the family in there as well, so you can just think of basically the G18 being up there somewhere in the top 10, but just, you know, as an honorable mention, I guess, because the G18 was the original overpowered pistol before, well, that and the USP Tactical SC, but back when there were no automatic pistols, the G18 was as close as you can get to having a fully automatic pistol. It had 3-round burst, and it cost a lot. As you can see, it costs like, it used to cost 900 GP a day when they still had 1-day sales, whereas most of the pistols only cost like 200, 300, maybe 400, 450 GP a day. The G18 cost 900. That's how good it was, or that's how good people thought it was, and it was a good pistol. The 3-round burst melted people. Colt Cobra 38 Special. This revolver is kind of like the Golden Gun, in which it has a very strong two-shot kill. Also, it has double the rate of fire. The high rate of fire is what makes this gun worth it as a actual usable sidearm. I think they had it for permanent sale. I don't think they have it anymore. Yeah, they don't have it anymore. So if you did buy this pistol for perm, do consider yourself lucky, because I think the Colt Cobra 38 Special is a very, very good sidearm, because it fires fast and it's got the high power of a standard revolver. So there you go. I guess you could say this revolver is actually competitive with actual other, spammable pistols, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's a good pistol, but it didn't make it on my top 10. PT-20 Combat TB, we kind of discussed it with my PT-2SC. Basically, it's the original variant of the PT-2SC, just the PT-2SC, just superior to the Combat TB in basically every fashion of the word. M92FS Silver, whoop-de-doo, it does more damage, whatever, it still sucks. Anaconda Black 8-inch, this is basically the Anaconda Black except without the fire delay, so just take it for what you will. K5 Camo, even though I did bash on the K5 and the K5 SD, the K5 Camo and the K5 SD Camo are actually pretty good, in my opinion, because they have higher damage, and they have an actual 15-round magazine. For the K5 Camo, though, it still has a really, really slow reload time, so the K5 SD Camo, on the other hand, is actually a really good pistol, so, I mean, it kind of should be. It's an rare pistol, for God's sake. But, yeah, other than that, though, the K5 Camo, I do not mind. That and the Desert Eagle Black, this is the Deagle that you should get if you really want a Deagle and you're Colonel 1. The Deagle Black is actually a really, really good Deagle variant. It deals more damage, it's got, another additional magazine of ammunition. It's just a really, really good power pistol, and it's not entirely reliable, but for some reason I feel like it hits its targets a lot more often than the original Deagle. Just saying. So, that and the USP Tactical, I've already mentioned in my top 10. Great pistol, but there are a lot other pistols that have been released ever since open beta days. USP Tactical isn't really the best pistol anymore, but still, it's a classic gun, still great. So yeah, that'll wrap up the pistol recommendations video for here. So thank you guys very much for watching, and hope you guys have enjoyed it. And yeah, I will be working my ass off to get the rest of the top 10 videos up very soon. I think I said the shotguns were next, and after that is followed by the machine guns, I believe. Shotguns, machine guns, yeah. So, all right, thank you guys very much for watching. We will see you guys later. Goodbye.